right from wrong.
Right.
So if you notice, like
they have a conscience.
They have a conscience. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Before you even tell them, they know right from wrong.
How do they get a conscience?
It's just something
innate.
that
it's not. It's not innate. It's not innate. It's not. Conscience is learned.
It is not.
Here's the thing. Here's a question I want to kick.
I don't think it's learned.
Here's a question I want to kick
because
you.
there are some. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just have to say, there racism and bigotry is taught. Children will play with children. Period. Point blank. So that is their conscience wanting, their childlike pure conscience wanting to interact with that other race or that other child, or just have a pure experience.
Your parents are your conscience in the beginning. Your parents
they are to a certain extent.
what
it's the environment.
Eventually, as you grow older, your mind.
Listen,
your mind is going to expand, and you're going to be able to make decisions based off of past experience. Right. Hey, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't do that. But where's the foundation come from? The parents. Now, I do say this though, and this is to reference to the school shooters. I've always said, man, some toys come out the factory broken. Okay, right. I believe that some kids just come out fucked up, and there's nothing you can do. We can always
because
blame
of their environment.
We can always talk about the home, the parents. The parents can be too middle. The parents can be too middle class.
It's all about the environment and the exposure.
But still, you can have a perfect environment.
It's the discipline behind it.
There is no perfect environment.
You're right, but
every environment is imperfect.
There's challenges, yes, but you can have parents who clearly mean well, who have stable jobs or in a stable house, a good neighborhood. They make a conscientious effort to reach out to their kids, but the kids are still fucked up. Okay, like there's just nothing you can do.
There needs to be a place of fear in the home. I strongly believe that here, because without that fear, that sense of I don't want to get in trouble or do this because my mama or my daddy or whoever, my supervisor, is going to be up my ass. There has to be a sense of order in the home. Okay, it's just like going to work. You know, you have to respect your. Even if I don't like my boss, I have to respect his position.
How do you learn
that? The thing is fear. You have to.
The lesson comes as you grow. If you have kids that just don't listen, don't obey, everyone answers to someone.
So I have two questions back to back.
Everyone answers to somebody.
First question: do y'all think that do you think people are born good? Essentially,
yes.
You do?
Yes.
Nana?
Pass.
Well,
people are born good.
Well, I totally disagree. I think people, and this might sound a little throw, but my theory is I think people are born evil, and we're taught to be good. That's what I think. People are born evil. Think about this way. Perfect example.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Perfect example.
I can agree with you to a certain extent because, and I'm just gonna give a little bit of a religious spin. We are all born sinners. We are all born into sin.
Yes.
This is something that is just in us, and God came, or Jesus Christ came, so that we may be sinless, right? And He took all of that burden off of us. But once He did that, we were no longer bad people. We had a Redeemer that we could constantly, look back to and be redeemed from our natural, our fleshy behavior.
If you want to go the religious route, eventually you're going to have to come to a point in time where you find Jesus. You have to seek Him out, and then you have to repent, you have to. So I'm saying, as far as just from birth, straight out the womb.
Yes.
Okay, I think people are inherently evil.
Okay,
because think about kids.
This is what I'll say.
Hold up. Look at the average kid. Look at the average newborn to fucking 5, 6 years old.
What kind of kids do you be around?
Listen.
Listen.
Listen. Look at this. Kids are self-centered as fuck.
Because it's the environment. Once again, when you're a kid, guess what is on your conscience? Yourself. Because everybody is always coming up to you. Oh, you're so cute. Babies get attention. So you're used to getting that uninterrupted attention. When you're a baby, you're held, you're gripped, and the only way, the form of communication from is laughter and crying. Okay, so those are the form of communications that you have to communicate with each other. So when you get older,
school shooters didn't get what NaNa just said. Like they didn't get none of that holding, that groping, that laughing.
They possibly got it.
That's a big assumption.
They possibly got it, but you know what I learned about people? We don't know how to deal with rejection. All right.
at all.
I know how to deal with rejection.
Okay, you
Not
know
at
how to
all.
deal with
Black
rejection.
people, I feel, know how to deal with rejection.
Okay, I
Black
can't
people.
speak to all black
Let's
people,
not act
but
like these school shootings aren't tied into white privilege. Okay,
but some people just don't know how to deal with rejection, and we're not taught about that rejection. Like, we're always taught, like, hey, give your relentless effort, and everything will work out your way. You're just best everything. So once you hit that roadblock and somebody or something or a project or something didn't go your way, and that rejection come with it, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
So, and answer to the question, you said people are born evil. I disagree with that, because I think people are born to love, because that's a natural.
You have to be taught to
natural.
love.
I believe.
I think you're born to want to be.
No, that's a natural behavior, because if you think about as a baby, when they're closer to their mom, right, and they want to be breastfeed, they want to be held, and they go to the recipient of the person who's giving them that love. So you're taught to love.
Here's what it is.
But you're taught.
I'm
You're not taught to love. Love is
what you
gay,
said.
but hate is a learned response.
Listen, what you
hate
just said.
is a learned response.
The kid going up to the mom, the baby, the baby craving the mother's attention and warmth and all that. You call it love. I call it a parasitic relationship. Think about it. The kid.
Where's your mom?
I'm breaking it down.
Hey, give him a come on. Give him a hug.
Bring it in.
I love my mama. I love my mama, but you know what?
Are you a
I
parasite?
learned to do that.
Are you a parasite?
No, but
not.
having a parasitic relationship and a parasite are two different things, Queen.
Just saying.
I'm saying. Look,
I'm just saying.
Do you know what a parasitic relationship
I
is?
do, but I'm just
Go ahead and elaborate for our viewers, though.
Okay, so the relationship is a parasitic relationship is when one is getting something from the other without getting anything in return.
And that's why I asked you, are you a parasite?
Babies need the mom for survival.
But
they need the mom's warmth. They need the
I'm gonna
mom's
ask you
food.
one question. What makes you think that they are not serving a purpose to the mother? What makes you think that the mother's not getting something from the baby?
I know that the mother's not getting something from the baby.
Yes. How do you know they're
return.
not being fulfilled by having that relationship with that needing relationship?
Okay,
Come on,
I got you.
How do you know that?
Hey, this is why I wanted Princess on the show.
Okay.
That's what I'm just trying to say.
But we gotta get to the nitty-gritty, though.
It's always a two-way street. You can't just say, "Oh, well, you're breastfeeding the child." Like that is. Have you ever talked to a barren woman before? All she ever wanted was a child. That fulfills her whole entire. And
The
even
whole
in an African community, if you're a woman and you're barren, you're nothing to the husband, and most times to the husband's family. So you can't just say "Oh, it's a parasitic." Relationship. It's a two-way street. The mother is just as happy
but what you're
as
doing
the baby is.
So it may not be by definition. I'll give you that one. It may not be a parasitic relationship. However, I don't believe that it's truly love, because the baby doesn't know what love is. It's a more of a need than a love. Okay, I need to breathe air. I need to live.
So then how do we learn to love them?
We're taught. We're taught by people around us. If you if you happen to grow up in a stable family, okay, with a mom and dad, and if there's not mom and dad aren't together, if you're around family that love each other, look out for each other, you're taught how to share, you're taught how to sacrifice, you're taught all this shit.
Not necessarily.
That is all learned.
It's always a personal decision.
Why do you think it's like a common stereotype that only children are spoiled and selfish? It's because most of the time they don't have many ways to learn that the world is bigger than them, that their needs aren't the center of the universe. That has to be taught. Not born.
It has to be taught.
So it all has to be taught. Having a conscience, that has to be taught. Now your conscience can your conscience can expand on its own, and you could be able to make decisions what's good and bad based off
babies know wrong for right.
No,
they already know.
No, they don't, bro.
Yes, they do. They already know wrong for right. You can look them in the eyes, and they're about to do something, and they don't do it in front of you.
What age are you looking at?
Because
when you're telling me this, I'm picturing like a 2 or 3 year old. By that time, I'm assuming the kid probably got patted down, got the hand slapped for doing something. Somehow they were ingrained or told not to do something.
I feel like you're discounting the cognitive ability of a child, because my thing is like, so just because you're popped, how do you know that you did something wrong?
Just because you're popped, how do you know you did something wrong?
As a child, we're talking about conscious whatever.
It's trial and error, okay? If I draw on the wall and this actually happened. If I draw on the wall and every time I draw on the wall, I get popped, I'll stop drawing on the wall because I know that's not the move.
But what's the difference between drawing on the wall and getting popped, or playing a sport and doing a good job and getting popped on the butt? Like, good job, buddy. So what's the difference?
Here's the thing, though. You're comparing, I'm assuming, like an adolescent versus...
No. Okay. There's 2 or 3 year olds that play sports.
There's two that I haven't seen 3-year-olds getting pat on the butt. You know, I haven't seen it. I hope. Shit.
I'm just saying, good game, good game.
No, we don't need to do a
pedophile segment.
I was about to say, let's shut this shit down now.
Like,
next episode of the Problematic Safe Place.
High five, buddy. I've seen high five, buddy. Good job on the butt. I've seen it before, and I don't see anything. 3-year-olds. Yes, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Hey, man, this is. You throw it, man. I ain't seen that shit.
It does come to the environment.
Since I was fucking 4. I haven't seen that shit. Nobody patted me on that.
Grown men pat each other on the butt
perfect example.
all the time
Perfect
in the NBA. I mean, the playoffs are on right now. I'm sure you'll see it.
Hey, yo, perfect example of this, how I know it's wrong, because ever since I was a little kid, my mama always said, if somebody touched you there, that's wrong.
Okay.
So that's taught me, if somebody touched my ass.
Has a man ever I
played sports growing up, and there was a lot of touching in the ass, you know, pats on the ass, and
like, did you ever think they were sexual, or were they? Or they weren't?
Absolutely not. Exactly. I was in a locker room, and no homo. Everybody's getting naked, you know.
But see, here's the thing, though. You grew up, like, you're able to come up with your own conclusions, your own. But I'm saying, as a child, you don't know. You have to be taught what is inappropriate behavior. You can't learn that on your own.
Even as an adult, we still learn what's appropriate and inappropriate. Even day to day, we learn what's appropriate.
So tell me this: if you just popped the kid straight out the pussy, right, and you threw him in a cave, okay, no interaction with anybody outside of that cave, okay, the only thing that they're getting is food and water. They're getting shown, they're getting things to stay alive, but no human interaction whatsoever. Do you think that kid is going to have the same moral compass of what's good and what's bad like you?
No.
Do you think they're going to have that conscience?
I do.
You do?
I do.
To a point.
To a certain degree.
I disagree.
I do.
Well,
I think there's basic things a child will know without any type of human interaction. If you eat right here and you use the bathroom here, I don't think a child's going to constantly keep shitting where they eat.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think there are some cognitive things that let you know, hey, should do this, shouldn't do that. Now, there are some gray areas, but I do think overall there is a moral compass in everyone.
Absolutely.
In every single person.
Learned.
Birth.
It is learned.
It's not all learned.
Okay.
It's not all learned.
Because if it was learned, then there wouldn't be a wrong or a right. Right?
Wrong or right is all subjective. You know that, right?
Exactly.
It's all subjective.
Exactly.
But there's certain things that are definitely wrong. Taking someone's life is definitely wrong. Taking someone's life is definitely wrong.
Not God.
You.
Do you think it's right?
Do I think it's right?
Yes.
I do believe under certain circumstances, yes, it's acceptable to take a life. Okay, if somebody would have popped one of these crazy little... I'll say it again. Under certain situations, it is right to take a life. If somebody would have popped one of these little white boys who decided to bring a fucking AR-15 into the school and saved all these other kids from being murdered, I'd be all for it. Okay, so I don't stand by that. Yes,
I agree with that actually,
and I feel that black and white thinking.
1 versus 200.
Now you know,
I hate not to say that this is to say that one life is not valued, but there's probably a lot of value in 200 lives. Yeah, just as much as there is in that one. So but I'd rather sacrifice the one versus the 200.
I just want God to be God.
Amen.
Faith without, I mean, that's the cop out, man. That's a cop out, man. Okay, faith without works is dead.
To our next segue.
Hold up, last thing I want to end out.